there guys, I'm Chris Bowden and welcome back to the Geek Group, where today we have a Montgomery Ward, like, I don't know, 70s vintage sewing machine of some manner. We had to find a sewing machine for the Tesla Coil with Billy project, and this one was one where we had the sewing machine but we didn't have the power supply, and it was screwed and it was old, and we're like, hey, it'll make an equipment autopsy, so we're gonna take it apart. So here you go. We've got I know nothing about sewing machines, so we get to learn about this as we go. And with a lot of things, especially of this vintage, everything begins with popping off the knobs wherever possible. So you just grab them really hard and see if they'll pop off. These have screws on the bottom, so I'm gonna grab a screwdriver and take that off. This is the knob that selects sew or darn. Modern versions have sew or damn, but this is 70s, and it was kind of a Nazi inherit. They're like real metal too. The knobs on this thing are really heavy. That's kind of cool. All right, so what else we got? Take off this knob. These are actually nice knobs with set screws and everything.
Really?
Yeah.
Tell me more.
You don't see them with set screws.
That's sarcasm.
I know.
I really don't want to hear about it.
Well, you're gonna, because that's what we talk about here. Okay, this one pops right off. This one is 1, 2, 3 stretch. Now, somebody out there who knows way more about sewing machines than I do is free to comment and tell us about all the things these do, or download a manual or something. I don't know. This knob doesn't want to come off. So, this is now officially my fire starter, just so you know. Let's just motivate it a little bit here. The stitch width selector knob. It's giving me grief. I don't know who put that on there, but they were pretty serious about doing that.
Could this be the next camera? Guess
Okay,
not.
I got it off. Pretty happy about that. That's the stitch width selector knob.
Here, toss me
Okay,
one.
you want a knob?
Yes.
All right, you get the stretch one. Catch. Wow, you suck at this. All right, ready? You happy now? You got a knob.
These are nice.
Yeah, they're pretty slick knobs.
They've set screws.
Set screws. So you're trying to mock me, but I'm just going to rise above it. Now this is, I don't even know what this knob does. It does this dingus here, which is a tensioner, I think. I should probably mention at this moment that I really have absolutely no knowledge of sewing machines. But maybe you own one of these, or your grandma has one, and it's broken, and you need to fix it, and you can watch this video and learn how to put it back together again when you're done. And I will have helped Grandma. And for that, I'm thankful. Yay, Grandma!
Reminder to our viewers, call your grandma.
Yeah, call your grandma. Ah. All right, now on the, where do we start? Oh, hey, I found the model. Oh, wow. That must not have been real important anyway. Okay, now here's the model number. It is a UHT J1429 in serial number 3958. Well, 77B 3958. 10 amps AC, which is impressive. Okay, that's our pile of real important looking stuff. I'm gonna get rid of, I got on the back here, you can see this thing. So I'm gonna take those off because they're in the way. Eakin, I know you're home watching this right now. I want you to realize that that was the moment I realized you walked off with my screwdrivers, okay? That was the exact moment when it occurred to me, when I got in the cabinet and all my other screwdrivers aren't there. I'll bet they're at the lab. So we're going to talk about Bowden's tools versus the Geek Group's tools. all those tools in that big room over at the lab, that's the tool room, those are the Geek Group tools. Those are the ones that everybody can sign out and use and do stuff with. Then there's a big box behind me. Those are my tools. Those do not go to the lab. Okay, now what do we have? Oh, we'll take that off. Okay. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, I've got a screw up here on the back, which I'm pretty sure is just a housing screw. So take that off. Oh, all kinds of real important looking stuff goes with it. This is a Bobbin Winder, which is a pretty clever little thing. And what it does is the bobbin ride, you can loosen the screw and turn this around and adjust it. You can see it mounts eccentrically. And you put that on there and it starts winding it. It engages it. This is a friction drive. And when it's flipped over here, it's engaged. As the bobbin fills up, it pushes it back. And it's like a buckling spring type of setup. When the bobbin gets full, this pops off and it stops winding the bobbin. So that's how you wind a bobbin. Bobbin is a little tiny metal thread spool. This uses a bobbin down in the bottom. I have absolutely no idea how I knew that. But I just knew that. I didn't even have to think about it. I just knew that. That's really surreal. Grandma, who I'm guessing taught me that, thank you. See? That's what I get for being the annoying kid that asks all those questions. This comes off, okay. Oh, wow. All right, now on top here, we've got our switch pattern selector. That's the switch here. Okay, so we'll take that off. You can see the switch, and there's a set of cams. It's all, you can see the cams right here. They're plastic cams. It's really neat. And from the looks of it, that's something that you don't want to flip unless the machine is in motion. It's kind of like a gear shift, but it's really cool. And all kinds of clockwork stuff happens in here. Go over one. Wow, this is neat. I wish I could power this up. There's a lot of neat stuff to see. Look at all the mechanisms and everything. There's a lot of different gears and cranks and counterweights. It's really well made. I have no idea which way I'm supposed to turn this, but I could tell by looking. Okay, it's supposed to spin this way. And I can tell because down here there's a foot. And I'll lift the foot up and you can see there's a tread plate under it. No, it wants to go this way. Yep, that's the way to turn. Okay, hang on. It's going back and forth. All right, you can see I don't know how to show this on camera. Can you zoom in and catch that? Because it's down here under the foot. There's these little things that pop up. You can see them. See that pops up down under there, that thing? Boop. And then it pulls, and it should, as a rule, pull things into the foot. But this is going both ways, and I think that has something to do with the stitch pattern selector because it'll move stuff back and forth. I'm not 100% on that. I don't know. But there's nothing in here that says direction of rotation. I'm guessing though because normally you'd be sitting at the machine this way, and this feels right, like you'd want to turn it that way to feed it by hand. So I'm going to guess that that's the direction it wants to go. So let's look down in here and see some of the stuff we can see. We've got a really cool crank system here. You can see the crankshaft, and there's a counterweight right there. Now, there's a motor in this. There's a motor right here. Let's get some more housing parts off so we can get a look inside this and really see how it works. I'm going to take off the end piece here. I like that everything on it's nice and big. It's all very simple, number 2 Phillips or straight blade screws, just big and easy to work on. It's a nice change of pace from the twiddly little electronics and lenses that I've been dealing with lately. Got a little light here. Oh, you're in there. Okay, we got that out. And you know, when you work with the big steel stuff, you get an impressive pile of parts left over. Okay, we'll take the little light off. I can leave that there for now. I don't need that out. Okay, what else? What's next? I'm going to take the screws out on the plate. Which are kind of hard to get to. There's really no way to get a good grip on that. I need a straight blade screwdriver. It's about 1.5 feet long. Electrician screwdriver would be really good for that. And where's my electrician screwdriver? It's at the lab! Thank you, guys.
It's at the lab.
My electrician screwdriver.
No, I said it is. You asked me, where is it?
Oh, I know where it is.
It's at the lab.
Thank you for sharing that, Corey. It's that brilliant insight that I rely on you for.
I know.
Not for nothing, but you're going to look pretty stupid with this as a surgical implant, transrectally.
No,
Just saying.
I was hoping it would be in my head. And it could be like Mom from Pete and Pete.
I have no idea what you're talking about, and I'm okay with that. I'm just going to leave that one alone.
But there are going to be
there are
going to be commenters that are going to be like,
want a piece of that.
that show.
I don't want a piece of that. I just. All right, I got like wings on this thing. I'm pretty sure that's for a water landing. Yep, that's for a water landing. Actually, I think that's for like pant legs or something, where you want to have a whole lot of material under and over at the same time, like maybe a skirt. Like if you're doing a skirt, that's what that's for. You can just slide it on and doop, 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 and
Do you have to make that noise?
Yeah, I go doop, doop, doop. That's what Grandma does.
Okay.
Doop, doop, doop. Yeah. All right. Trying to get through housing stuff and work my way inside. It's this giant cast metal housing. It's really sturdily built. There's no... Oh, it's American made, yeah. Ah! Stop that. Little... You can come off of there. Or maybe not. Okay. What can I... What's American made? Yep.
I think every time you fail at getting this open, I'll just say under my breath, America.
There's no way I fail at getting this open. No way. You know why?
Because at most you'll resort to just throwing it on the ground.
No, I've already had one like autopsy video literally end in flames today. So I've had my fail. I'm cool. I've accomplished that. I can get the wings off on the bottom. Here's the bottom. It's this big cast metal thing. I don't know what kind of metal, but it's cast. It's quite manly.
This is really nuts to see nowadays. But...
Yeah, you don't see a lot of this stuff anymore. I mean, you see cast products, but they're like engine blocks and really expensive cameras.
Yeah.
Come on. There you go. All right, there's the flotation devices. Oh, that's neat. Okay. There's lots of schmutz coming out of this as well. It's just...
Oi.
It's got schmutz. Oh, hang on. I think I got something here. There's a couple big screws back here. Like that one. And I think those... Oh, they could hold the back plate on. They could do that too. All right. Big straight blade screws. Really, do I have any that big here? No, because they're at the lab. I'm going to cry. I got giant Phillips head. I have a pair of number 3 Phillips heads. I have absolutely no practical use for those.
Check that black and yellow one over there.
The black and over here?
Yes.
It's long, but it's not very big around. I'll give it a shot. What's that tension? Yep, that is it. That is a housing screw.
Oh, wow. Hold that up for the camera, because that's a big one.
That's, there's the screw. It's a lurf. Well, burf. Burf. It's a big rubber foot. Burf. That's just for Omni.
We are 12.
I know, but we're having fun. And you know, it's okay because most of our viewers are 12. So, to them, we're not idiots. Okay, well, we probably are, but we're having fun and they're watching, so I'm happy. Hey, we're taking apart a sewing machine just for the sheer sake of taking apart a sewing machine. Because it's fun. And you know, it's okay to be 12. There's nothing wrong with that. Come on, we're having a snow day and playing in the basement taking stuff apart. I'm okay with being 12. I've been called a lot worse things than 12. All right, now I'm on the bottom here, and I got a screw there, and you can see we're up in, here's the other side of the crank. And there's intricate levers and stuff that we'll get into, but I want to get this housing screw out. And there's a little window. There's a winder down here. It's got gull wing doors. It's like a DeLorean sewing machine.
That was my gull wing door noise.
They actually make a very similar noise to the hatchback on my car. When you open my car and you said, "I opened your car," and it sounded like the future. That's almost exactly what gull wing doors sound like on a DeLorean.
To be fair, your car did.
Now here's a neat thing. This is kind of cool. Like a regular car, when you park a regular car, you have to have like a couple feet away from whatever's next to you to open the door. With a DeLorean, you only have to have about 14, 15 inches. It's really, really small because a DeLorean door opens. It doesn't just open out like that. The hinge is about halfway down the roof. There's a gap about that big down the center of the roof on a DeLorean. And the hinge is very near the center, so the door opens up. So it travels only a little tiny bit away from the car. Most of it's straight up. So DeLorean doors don't open like that. They open like that. I'm kind of a DeLorean freak.
We have to go back, Marty.
You have to what?
We have to go back, Marty.
Okay, now, oh, here, remember I was talking about bobbins earlier? That there is your bobbin holder thing. This is where the bobbin goes. You wind it up on top, and it goes down here in this thing, and it's the other side. There's one thread that comes down through the needle, and then there's another thread that goes up through here. And I really wish we could make this work.
And you said you didn't know anything about sewing machines.
I know, I really don't know anything about sewing machines. I know a little tiny bit. I don't really know how to do it safely, and I don't know what wire goes where, but... All right, we're gonna take a break. When I come back, I'm gonna see if I can power this up.
We've already had our fire for the day.
All right, well, we'll just keep it rolling, and you guys can watch, and we'll see if I set this thing on fire. All right, I'm not gonna get there. I gotta get to the motor. I gotta be able to visualize that, and I gotta be able to see where these wires go, because I'll bet it's just a 120 volt motor. And if it is just a regular 120 AC motor, then I'm gonna get an extension. I think I have a Variac. I think we have a Variac here.
I think it went to the lab.
I don't think so yet. And if we have a Variac here, I can power this up safely. If I don't have a Variac here, we can power this up very unsafely, and we might give that a shot. So, yeah, I'm going to see if I can get to the motor, because I want to show all this stuff moving. I think that could be neat. All right, so this is what I got. I'm not 100% sure that's a 120 volt motor, but I think it is, and the plug says it's rated for 120 volts. I can't really read the motor, but I'm going to go with this. Oh, hang on. There's a sticker over here.
Fire.
Motor says 125 volts DC, AC. 125 volts AC. I can see the motor is very, very clearly labeled right on top. Input 80 watts, 0.75 amps, so it's really low amperage. It's a tiny little Wheelie motor. It's a sewing machine motor. It may actually be synchronous. It has that synchronous motor look to it. So I got a plug, and here I'll show you what I did. There. A couple alligator clip leads. There's like 3 little male terminals. I got the insulation pushed all the way down, so it's reasonably safe. And over on this end, I got a couple of short strip pieces off here. Insulation's covering those, mostly. We're gonna die. All right, Corey!
Power strip directly to your left.
Oh, it's right over there. Okay, cool.
Where it has been for the past few months.
Yeah, okay. Hey, we haven't made a video in a month, so I'm not.
We haven't made a basement video.
Not up on all that stuff. Okay, here, I gotta.
That's not even true.
Gotta get that out of my way. Okay, now I'm gonna turn this off. I'm gonna use the power strip as the on-off switch. Put that in there. Come here. Oh yeah, that's safe. Okay, ready? Safety first, test. It's probably the first time this thing's worked in 20 years. I fixed it! Look, Ma! I fixed it!
Uh-oh.
Look, Ma, I made it really angry. Okay, I don't know why it quit doing its thing.
God.
Something disengaged.
This is a bad idea.
Oh, the screw! I took that screw out. It's one of those. I'll just tighten it down really.
Maybe you shouldn't have dumped
No,
all
I
of
just
them on
tightened
the
it
ground.
down. It's all right. Didn't need that screw anyway. Ah, it works again. All right, check this out. Look at all the stuff. Man, I can't grab anything. This is why they quit using these, because people kept losing fingers. Look at that. Look at all the stuff in there. This would be really cool with a Variac if I could like slow it down. But you can see, okay, hang on. Safety first. Yeah, because now is the point for that. All right, I'm gonna take the needle out of it because it actually has a needle in it.
Wow, why did you do that?
Sewing machine needles, huh?
Why didn't you do that before?
Didn't need to. Sewing machine needles are kind of cool in that they're like a regular sewing needle on one end, and on the other end, they have a half round shaft with a flat side, which is, well, it's kind of keyed really, it's a flat side, and that's where the set screw goes, and that's how a sewing machine, so it clamps in like that. So I'm going to set this. Sewing machine needles also have a groove cut by the eye, which is really neat. There's no way we can zoom in enough to see it, but there's a groove right here, and the groove on one side goes all the way up the needle. It just goes just past the eye and all the way up the shank of the needle. And then the groove on the other side, which is the flat side, goes down to the point of the needle from the eye. So I'm sure there's a reason for that. It's kind of cool. Now let's really get a look at this. We've got, you can see the crank on top. What I'm going to try to do is roll this over while it's running so that you guys can see all sides of it. So this is where I'm going to lose a finger. I'm going to take my cell phone out of my pocket before I kill it. Okay, here we go. Contact. All right. Now, up on top, you can see, here, we'll start here. There's the primary drive. You can see the motor spins this big pulley up here. Okay? Now, that works this big crank down in here, and there's all kinds of stuff happening there. There's the primary drive here. Let's stop it just a second. Okay, we've got the primary drive, counterweight here, an offset cam with 2 lobes. Well, it's 1 lobe, but it's a really wide lobe. Okay, and that's moving this back and forth. And then it goes down, there's a worm gear, which is kind of hidden. There's a worm gear right there, which drives this. So you can see the worm there and the pinion. And then this shaft continues on down. There's nothing to grab. Now, we've got another eccentric here, exactly like the first one, but this one isn't doing anything. And then it goes down here, and it's a really cool drive shaft setup. Can I grab under there? Yeah, I can grab under there safely. Now, take a look down in here. look at this drive shaft. As it goes around, you can see the weirdness to it. It's like a drive shaft. It's like a crank with a bell crank, okay? So it's like a reciprocating crank, like a drive shaft type crank, and a reciprocating bell crank. So that's kind of cool. Now let's try changing these and see what happens. I'm gonna go way over there. Come in one. I'm just looking to see anything.
Oh, you know what? You can see it here. Go back to the first one.
Okay.
Check that rod
I'm in
that's
first.
moving.
Okay, which rod?
Far left. The one that has a big flathead screw on it.
That one right there?
Yeah.
This?
Yep.
Okay.
So watch it on the monitor, switch to the next one.
Okay, I'll go to the next one. Oh, hey, it changes. Look at that. All right. Here's third. I love it. This is like total analog programming. Okay, it does 6 pulses. All right, I'm going to try an experiment here, okay? I'm going to put it here. It shouldn't move at all. All right, now when I move this, yep, I can now move it manually. If I move here, I got to move everything so I can see my thumb. All right. When I move it moves this rocker assembly is what these do. Now, there's another one here. Look for something that's pulsing. Got it. All right, now look down here. See the plate on the bottom?
Yeah.
Okay. Now watch the plate. It's going to stop. See that? Bop, 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 like that?
No.
And if I hold it, oh, good, I made it angry.
Oh.
Yeah. That's kind of cool. All right, let's go up to another gear. Now what's your thing doing over here now?
I don't know, let's see. It seems like it's kind of a gradient into it.
Yeah. It is, it's a gradient. All right, I'm going all the way to the end. That's as far as I can go. That's really cool. All right, now that we know that's doing it, let's see what this is. So we know it kicks this in and out. Oh, it actually moves the needle. If you look over here, you can see, here, come on over here and get a look. If you look down here, this can move, and you can see, well, we know that's where the needle goes, right? That's our needle screw. And that's got a little tiny bit of play, about 1/4 inch of play in it. And if I move this, it allows the whole thing to move in and out. So it's a whole linkage thing. It's really cool. All right, now let's get down into the bottom part. Hands clear. Okay, now we can see this. That's our bobbin part. And we can look at the bottom over here. Sorry, I gotta move a lot. You can see all the arms and stuff in here. That's the other end of that. And these all run off that same shaft. It's a whole complex collection of linkages. It's really neat. A lot of cool stuff to see there. Oh wow! Oh wow! Hang on. Look at that.
Oh boy.
Partial. I gotta stop that. Look right here. Those are bevel gears, and this is like a crown. It's like a 1/4 crown bevel gear. It's really neat. Oh man, the stuff you could make out of this, just the neat steampunky, robotic-y, tinkery things that you could make out of this are fascinating. There's so much you can do with this. All right, my hand's clear? Yep. Look at that. It's really neat. How cool is that? All right, I'm gonna turn it off and I'm gonna unplug it because I wanna make sure these are totally dead. Now, let's get some parts out of this. Yeah! Okay, let's continue with our autopsy. All right, so that's pretty much everything. All that's left in there really is the drive shaft and this obnoxious gear on top. We've got all the various bits out, and I'm leaving the gears in there because I want to sort them out later, so take a look at some of the gears we've got. There's really neat shafting and stuff, and everything moves, and it's very twitchy. I like it. It's cool. So I'm going to save that for parts. It'll be cool. But some of the cool things that we got out of there, aside from all the shafting and belts at all, are, well, we got about 10 tons of schmuds. A lot of these, there's, you can see it right there.
What's he say?
That is the end of a needle. And there's like 20 of these in there. So be careful when you're taking apart sewing machines. You'll find lots of broken needle tips in them, and that could be a bit of a pain. I'd put it in the trash can. Here's another one right here. I'd put it in the trash can, but the trash can isn't down here right now.
We're going to leave it out there for a little while.
We're going to leave it out there for a while. Yeah, I'm okay with that. So some of the stuff we got is that really cool, like 50-axis actuator rod that mounts onto the needle. We got the extreme belt. And we got lots of springs. There's a million springs in there. Various bits of metal that I'm just going to recycle because they're all crap. Lots of really high-quality knobs, like heavy-duty knobs. Like this, I might put this on a guitar just to be obnoxious.
Wow.
Because I'm cool like that.
Will you actually at least make it go up to 11?
I may put that on my bass guitar. No, it only goes up to 8. I may put that on my bass just to mess with people. Oh, hey, I want to talk about the motor. One of the other things we got out of this was a motor, which is a sewing machine motor, E5090 model YM48.
Oh, I have one of those.
Made in Japan, 80 watt. It's this nifty little motor. Quite commonly, when you see little motors like this, they are AC or DC rated, so you can experiment with that. And a lot of them are, like, they'll look like this, they're not always, but you'll see a lot of little motors like this that are actually synchronous. They're really common in teletypes and in treadmills. Treadmills and teletypes, you will often find synchronous motors in. So keep an eye out for those, because if you're into high voltage, absolutely awesome for making synchronous rotary spark caps. And if you're not into high voltage, then call us, because we want your synchronous motors, and I'll give you a couple bucks for them, or you could donate it and be a hero to everyone. But yeah, that's what we got. That's the inside of a 70s vintage Montgomery Ward sewing machine. I'm Chris Bowden. Thank you for watching. Please remember to rate, comment, subscribe, donate, and call your mom. See you next time.
This video was made possible by a grant from the Future Girl Foundation.
This video was made possible by thousands of private donations from members and viewers like you. Please visit thegeekgroup.org for more information on how you can donate and become a part of our dreams of Avalon.